Arr, matey! In Fantastic Four issue 5, the tale unfolds with the infamous Doctor Doom. After the Fantastic Foursome are shanghaied from the Baxter Building, Doctor Doom gives them a terrible choice. They can go back to the misty past to recover Blackbeard's treasure from the briny deep, or fair Susan Storm will be sent to Davy Jones' locker. Ha ha ha. After Reed and Johnny and Ben are sent by Doom's time machine to the age of pirates, our terrific trio fit right in by donning a tricorn hat and an eye patch. Ha ha ha. Seeking the mystical booty of the infamous master of the high seas himself, Edward Teach. Ha ha. Our boys are drugged by a bar wench and forced to join a fearsome crew. After Thing takes over the ship, they set sails on the high seas, clashing with an attacking pirate ship in a swashbuckling battle for control of the otherworldly booty. With Blackbeard's treasure theirs, Mr. Fantastic realizes that Doctor Doom has evil intentions for it. So when they are returned to the present, they give Doctor Doom the Blackbeard's treasure chest. Without the treasure Doom was waiting for. 'Tis an epic battle between the enraged villain and our four mateys. It ends in a draw as Doctor Doom escapes, vowing revenge. Yar, har, 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 har. Doctor Doom's first appearance, 'tis a saga of superhuman proportions from the briny deep.
I love racing cars, chasing gales, and lighting on fire. That's why they call me the Human Torch. Freedom!
This is Jack, and I'm here with our expert panel to review this monumental issue of the Fantastic Four. For once, the Fantastic Four radio show episode that you heard before this from 1974 has an entirely different ending than the comic book did. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you the radio show ending, and then my boss, Ryan, is going to give you the comic book ending, and you can see the difference. You've got my always partner, Shades.
Hello.
We have my boss, Ryan.
Hello.
The radio show, once they bring the chest of Blackbeard to Doctor Doom, the Thing discovers a control for what looks like a ray. He doesn't really understand what it is. He decides to hang on to it. They sucker Doctor Doom just like in the comic book, and he gets ticked off about Blackbeard's treasure not being in there. Thing charges him. Doom turns out to not be a robot, but a hologram. Thing goes right through him. Doom then says that he is going to shrink the Fantastic Four to 1 vermillionth of their size. Thing has no idea what a 1 vermillionth is, and I don't know that it actually is a real number.
I don't know.
Thing then mentions that, no, wait, I've got the controller, and Doom's like, well, I've got a controller in my armor. And Sue appears out of nowhere, being invisible, grabs Doom's control. Doom then calls on his magical powers to bring up the villainous spirits of Kharkoum. He's going to hit Fantastic Four with these monsters, demons, and long-legged beasties. Thing tells him basically, screw you, you're not going to do that, because he turns Doom's shrinking gun on him. Doom shrinks to 1 vermillionth of his size. We know that Doom eventually will end up in the micro world. I'm thinking that's where he ended up. Reed scolds Thing for not giving Doom a chance, and Johnny, for the first time in the radio show, backs Thing up as a friend and tells him he did the right thing. So you see the character develop in the radio show, as we will discuss the character development here in the comic book.
So that's interesting. Reed was more compassionate to his former college friend. Is that what you're saying?
As the Torch points out, Doom was about to call all the demons of hell on them.
Yeah, that's just a little hard to overlook.
So Thing decided, I'm not going to let that happen. They leave, and Johnny burns down Doom's castle.
Do they explain why Ben Grimm took the jewel, the magic thing that he took?
The controller for the laser gun thing, he saw it and recognized that it controlled something, and he just assumed, well, Dr. Doom is a scumbag, so whatever this controls is going to be dangerous.
Right.
So that is how the radio show ended. My boss, producer Ryan, to tell us how the comic book ended.
Dr. Doom goes over to his chest to try and figure out what's in there. As he opens it up, he realizes, this is not my gems. This isn't what I ordered. And so
his Grubhub failed.
Yeah, exactly. They failed on him. He obviously is quite upset about this. He turns around. He sees Thing coming for him.
And shoots him.
Yeah, he tries to shoot Thing. He just completely just deflects it. That's nothing to him. Destroys his little robot
of Doom.
Doombot.
Oh, there you go, a Doombot.
We know that. I didn't coin that.
They didn't call it there, but yes, that's
they
what
will call it.
They are eventually called Doombots.
Doombots.
I see, okay.
Susan Richards says, "Are you really
not all bosses are humble like you, Ryan. Some bosses name every little thing after themselves."
That's fair.
In a future episode, Susan Richards says, "Is this really you, Doom, or another one of your stupid Doombots?" So, not a lot of respect there. Show a little respect for the guy who can make a robot.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, so then
and you see, looks like a glass ball view screen with the Devil Doctor in there.
Yeah, some type of orb, magic orb.
Yeah, that's cool.
They realize, this isn't Dr. Doom. This is actually just his bot here. From where he is, he traps him in this room and says, well, if you guys are gonna
jerk me
kill
around,
you
I'll jerk you around.
Yeah, he told them before, if you're not gonna give me what I wanted, then I'm gonna kill you guys. And so he
choke on that, no pun intended.
And then he starts sucking the oxygen out of the room.
Exactly, he just sucks all the oxygen out of the room.
Fortunately, he totally forgets that there's another person with superpowers.
They have the name Fantastic Four, and he only has 3 of them.
He's smart enough to build robots and time machines and rule countries and take over the world.
Turns invisible and blows up, resets the controls on his machine so he blows himself up.
I mean, there's blind spots, I suppose.
And she does it with her hands tied behind her back because she's just that good.
That's right. Well, I can live with that. I just don't know why Doom doesn't think maybe I should do something about this girl that could turn invisible. Maybe I should
He's like, I tied her up. I don't need anything else.
She can't use her hands. What else can she do?
And so she proceeds to our choking friends.
She opens up their door here to get them out.
I love how they continually remind us that flame cannot burn without oxygen. How many times have we learned that? Have we learned that yet?
That's Marvel science. Yes,
we know that.
have.
We know that.
And this is how I first learned it.
We've learned that, yes. We know that now. So.
I'm glad his fire does work as it's supposed to. He gets hit by water, it goes out, oxygen, he can't flame.
Yeah, it does obey the rules.
So after Sue frees them from dying of asphyxiation here.
Oh, this is probably my favorite scene. Reed Richards realizes, you know what, we gotta get a way out of here some way. He ties himself to a barred off window. He goes out of it, grabs a rock, and he pulls the other opposite end of his body of the whole wall, pulls it out of the...
With the thing's help. I
didn't even realize Thing was back there,
so he did help.
They wreck the wall together.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that Reed is just as destructive as Ben.
Dare I say it, it's kind of a stretch.
That and he actually uses them as you would expect. That's something that's out of the box. Oh, this is a way for me to escape here. So I'm glad he uses
teamwork between the
exactly,
four,
yeah.
Which starting to see more and more.
Yeah, there is development here.
After they escape this room with that help of Thing and Reed Richards, they realize, is this a moat with alligators in them? My lord.
I don't know why that's so silly.
Sue does not have her force fields here, so she is definitely threatened by all the gators. I don't think Thing is, but she is.
I mean,
so what Johnny does here is what, Ryan?
In a way he says it, he giving the flame the intensity of atomic heat, he can boil a section of water that turns it into a glass-like substance.
He fuses the ground under the water. See, he boils a section of water away.
Oh, I see what he does here. Okay, that makes more sense. I was gonna say, what is the validity in that in real life? Turn water.
I know
into
you turn
glass?
sand into glass.
Yeah.
but
But yeah, he's turning the ground, he's fusing the ground, which go mud, then dirt, then sand, into a large glass-like substance. He doesn't call it glass, he calls it a glass-like substance because this is Johnny.
So this is like some type of obsidian, I guess, in a way.
yeah. What I think is silly is that's Doom's defense. In a future episode, it's the whole thing. I mean, back in, I guess, in the 80s.
Right, but here Doom
the whole thing is like a hologram.
This is Doom's very first time
His
out.
very first time
and he
out,
did have, a phony robot. He did have oxygen.
That's true.
He's not short on his death traps.
Yeah, they'll get better. Everyone, hang in there.
He's just learning right now.
He's just learning.
And then Johnny tries to smoke him out by burning up the castle.
Let him use his
It was a
flames.
good idea, yeah, but I mean, Dr. Doom, being as smart as he is, realizes you need an escape plan for this. He already has something loaded up and ready.
Yeah, he's ready to go. Like Iron Man's armor, he can. Well, unlike Iron Man, his armor flies with the boot jets, but
not yet.
Doom-
Doom has a backpack.
But Doom has a backpack.
Yeah.
He cannot.
and he
fly like
rockets
Iron
away, and Johnny, who's already tired from his little moat
Man.
trick,
Excursion, yes.
once you do that atomic flame, it's hard to keep it up,
Don't I know it? It's just-
And so his flame dies on him, and then my favorite moment of the issue, barely stops himself and catches the limb of a tree.
well drawn, though. I appreciate art.
And
It
then
is well drawn.
The thing
It's
is,
just,
this is a great line here. Mr. Fantastic's like, Torch, that was a great try, and Ben's all, bah, they don't pay off for also rans.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that he called him Torch, because throughout the whole thing, and it's my complaint, Reed Richards calls Ben Grimm Thing the whole time, even in the privacy of their home.